Evening. Well done, everybody. You've made it over hump day. It's almost the weekend. Welcome to the Blue Monday podcast. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good to see you. Hope you're all right. Welcome, as I say, to the Blue Monday podcast following the fortunes of Ipswich Town, up or down since 2015. I'm Craig, you know that. That's Dave, you know that. We were only on a couple of days ago. How you going, Dave? You all right?
I'm all right, mate. I've got to say, feeling the heat here. I'm in my sort of little office here, and we have for the very first time put the heating on to take the sort of take the nip out of the air tonight. And I'm bloody boiling now. So much so
Oh,
it's gone off again. But
funny you should
yeah, I
say
mean
that.
that's a sign. I was desperately trying to hold out to the 1st of October, but sadly to no avail. But it was only on for an hour. But yeah, everything's working. Radiators are functioning, so we're good
Well,
to go for the winter.
that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to maybe potentially bleed your radiators, people.
Oh, you got to bleed your radiators potentially. Oof.
Yeah, that's pretty much as far as my plumbing expertise. I say expertise. My
Me
plumbing
too.
knowledge goes. Is
Me.
I've got about, and also of all the things I've got in my house, I reckon I've got more radiator keys in my house than anything else. Every drawer's got a radiator key in it.
Yeah,
It's
I
the only thing I know
know.
what to do with.
No, I'm exactly the same. Yeah, I learned that a few years back. Yeah, a good lesson learned, that one.
A good radiator key. Nothing more important in life than a good radiator
See,
key.
look, football talk, plumbing tips, you know,
Tips.
everything. Probably-
We haven't.
well,
We haven't.
plumbing speed.
We're not reinstalling someone's central heating system, mate. We're bleeding a single radiator.
It's a start. It's a start, mate. Oh
Yeah. Well,
dear.
funnily enough, I went downstairs earlier. My bloody radiator was on in the kitchen.
Mm.
Right. Where's the thermostat? Give me the thermostat. Get it down.
Get it
13
down.
degrees now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the way, isn't it? This winter,
Yeah.
crikey, especially
That's why I've got
with
me hoodie on.
with what's going on at the moment. Goodness me.
Yeah. Let's not get
Not good.
political. Unless topics dry up and we can go all political.
Absolutely.
Sod it.
Put the world to rights. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, let's stick some hellos on. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let's see. FPL Tractor, good evening to you. And here come, as FPL Tractor's
Usual
regular, but here's
suspects. Good to
Charlie. Yeah,
see you.
hey,
Look, there they are.
Charlie.
There they are.
Oh, look, Michael's going to show off and
Oh,
tell us
he's doing it
he's now
again.
turning his
He's
heating
doing
off,
it again, isn't he?
if ever it comes on.
Yeah.
Mullet obviously has to have the heating on all year round.
Obviously,
Wa- wa-
frozen north, isn't he?
Walking up the hill with a sack of coal on his back, poor old boy. Like some Lowry painting.
Yeah.
Hey, see, Charlie. Can't believe it.
Can't believe
Charlie's
it, mate.
still
Honestly,
walking around in his shorts.
bloody frozen Suffolk, mate.
Yeah. He's not flash mullet. He's got the bunts. Right? He's like burning pound notes with his heating on in September.
No, it's gone off. It literally was on an hour. It's gone off. I tell you, I kid you not.
AD, let's see. AD's turned his gas fire on for the. You careful with the
See,
gas, mate. That's the expensive one. AD, you be careful with that one, mate.
you might as well have a cold fire and chucking fivers into it.
see now Michael's come out swinging.
See, yeah, mate, yeah, you might well be right there. You might well be right there, Mike. No doubt you're about to get your hot flushes down in Oz, no doubt, for that time of the season. Lucky
Yeah,
bugger.
T20 World Cup soon, isn't it as well
Yeah.
over there?
Uh-huh.
Hello, good evening to you, David. Yep, we're all good. Thank you very much. Hope you
Yeah,
are
good.
too.
David, good to see it.
Right, yeah, here we go. Sweepstake. FPL's got his
Now,
he's
now,
I
now
just
here,
for people
now
who can't
this.
see.
I
Sorry,
think you.
just sorry, Dave. FPL's just had a guess on when Dave's landline's gonna go off. So if you want to stick your predictions in, there's no cheating though. If you've got David Diamond's landline, which he told us in a previous pod is in the phone book, then there's no.
I don't. I
there's no
don't think so. I think you'll find it. I haven't seen the phone book for about 10 years. I think you'll find it's very much ex-directory.
Oh, ex-directory. How
Oh
the other
yeah.
half live? In fact,
I'll
look,
tell you
Charlie
what.
D was jumping the
Howard,
gun.
what I must say is though, what I must say is, I think you'll find that's usually a Sunday night thing, not so much a Wednesday evening thing. But I stand to be corrected
Yeah,
as he's
well,
looking at it now.
should we? We can all sit here in silence for the next half hour, just waiting for it to go off.
Yeah, that'd work. That'd be kind of work.
Right, okay. Brendan, yeah, in
Well,
Scotland, had heating. That's south of where Mullet lives, I think, isn't it? Scotland, pretty much.
where does
But
Mullet
yeah,
live? Like out of Hebrides or something? Where does he live?
I'm sure you just trip over the Arctic Circle, don't you? And then it's the next house up.
Oh dear.
AD, oh yeah, welcome to the Blue Flame podcast. You
Ah,
reminding me of old British gas adverts there.
that's right.
Good evening to you, Tim. Again, my God, what sort of podcast is this? We're a bunch of
Bunch of middle
southern
class
softies.
heating waste, energy wasters, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, so by all means, just say I've literally got two bits of news to go through, which really isn't really news, to be honest. We're not going to get blood out of those particular stones. So if you want to give us a shout, give us some questions, let's have a chat, about the weekend and about the match coming up at the weekend. Obviously, we've got our friends from Portsmouth and the two brothers on the sidelines doing their bits and pieces. So give us a shout, let us
Shenanigans.
know what you think about team selection. Who's potentially needing a rest or looking a bit jaded or a bit off form from Sunday, as it was, and who you think should come in and
Yeah.
ramifications of that really. What
I
do you
mean, I
what do
think
you reckon, Dave?
very much after Sunday's show, and certainly in our group chat and in the Telegram chat, it's the sort of Edmondson. It's not a conundrum, is it? But Edmondson, hasn't perhaps didn't look so sharp. Although I thought all round on Sunday wasn't that bad, just a lapse of concentration, as we said, which led to the goal. But yeah, there's certainly a school of thought that perhaps Keogh might get a start on Saturday.
Yeah, and then as it's been said elsewhere, once he's in, is that then him playing the Mowbray role for the rest of the
Well,
season,
yeah, I mean
potentially?
that was it, wasn't it? Back then, I remember. Yeah, I remember that promotion season. It was Mowbray, was it? And then I remember one of the big turning points was Stockwell. Do you remember Stockwell came in? I think for the Charlton game at home, and we beat them four. We beat Charlton twice. There's the thing. That was the thing I was thinking about the other day. So our last promotion season, and I think we put 7 goals past the champions, didn't we? Charlton that season,
Ah,
absolutely beat them up both times. So yeah, that was a sort of, I guess, a factor of that season.
yeah. Or
But
beating teams around you in the top six.
yeah, I think we pretty much did. Someone's obviously shouting at me now saying we didn't beat anyone else other than Charlton in the top six, but I'm pretty sure we probably did. Well, Barnsley, crikey, yeah, Barnsley we beat twice as well.
Yeah.
Hammered them.
Good evening to you, Honey Badger. Um, good evening to you, James. Good evening to you, Merrill.
Ah,
First time watcher. Well, Christ,
fantastic.
Merrill, you've chosen a bad one to start with because there's
what's your
literally nothing to talk about.
what's your opinion, Merrill, on the energy cap?
Yeah. So I dread to think what would happen back in the back in the 80s when I was growing up. I had a 50p meter. You have to go to the shops and get 50p to
Oh,
put them in the meter before you
oh man, yeah.
prepaid,
God,
I suppose it was, as it is nowadays.
do you remember
Um,
that?
another Max is showing off. Look, good morning from Australia.
Oh, all you Australians out there, brilliant.
Yeah. Oh, and just very quickly, we've got some sweepstakes. David Diamond landline sweepstakes. Dave has gone for 8:15. Honey Badger's gone a little bit more specific. 8 minutes 16 and 47 seconds.
I don't know if it's a pointer to this, but I had a gun. I've actually gone 8:26.
You do that thing. Did you ever do that thing? God, we're just talking about anything other than football. There was a number you used to be able to ring. You used to ring it, dial it, and put the phone down, and it would ring your own number. Remember that?
Yeah,
I don't know why I used to
possibly. I
do
think
that, but I'm sure I used to do it. Make myself feel
probably did. I mean, way back when I was used, me and my mates used to play japes on the phone. It was with the old with the it was the old circular, ring dial, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Um,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
fake
Anyway,
light.
let me just quickly do a couple of bits of Ipswich Town, Ipswich Town news
There we
while
go.
we talk about
It's
heating in
all
the
falling
80s
apart.
and phone books.
Yeah,
Jeff Capes, of course, used to rip phone books up, didn't he?
he certainly did.
That's what he
Yeah,
did. That and keep budgies.
yeah,
Right. Ipswich Town have sold over 27,000 tickets for this
incredible.
Saturday. As I say, we were talking about Portsmouth. It's obviously second versus third. It's part of the hashtag Pack Out PR promotion. So if you haven't yet got a ticket, please do. I think they're £20 for a single ticket or 45 for the
Absolutely
three. Lincoln,
incredible.
Derby, and
It'll be, will
Portsmouth.
be interesting to see whether a ground will be full on Saturday though, because it's a damn rail strike, isn't there?
Rail strike, postal strike.
Oh, it's all
I've, I've,
kicking. Oh, no.
I've got a
Here
mate
we
who's
go. Here we go
a
again.
postie. I've got a mate who's a postie. 19 days of strikes between now and Christmas.
No, I know,
Gee
mate. I
whiz.
know. Hardly going to be working for Christ's sake. Oh, no, the port's on strike again as well.
He just hopes that they're tying in with some Ipswich Town away games so he can get to them. So I said,
But I
don't
mean,
write that on your placard.
27,000. I mean, it will be a. Well, it's a big game Saturday anyway, but that is just massive, isn't it?
And Portsmouth always bring a very,
And
very
they're
noisy.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Like I said, my one perhaps caveat was that there are no trains, but I'm sure Portsmouth they're fairly hardcore, aren't they? And I'm sure
Yeah,
they'll be there in their numbers. And you're right, they always bring a good number, and it's always a good atmosphere against them.
yeah. Them and Sheffield Wednesday are two very
Yeah,
noisy,
yeah,
noisy
brilliant.
groups of fans, aren't
Yeah.
they? Right. What else? Oh, Elkan Baggott. We talked about Elkan Baggott on Sunday winning his 11th cap. Well, he's now on his 12th
Did
against Curacao.
did did they play them twice?
Yeah,
Did you
two
not?
friendlies. Yeah,
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
well, I suppose they're.
Did we find out where it was? I got a feeling it's in the Dutch Antilles. Am I right? I think it might be. Not that.
Well, actual Curacao.
Yeah, Curacao. I
Curacao,
might have got
sorry.
that wrong. I know it's off. It's down South America way somewhere. I'm sure.
Is it really?
I'm pretty sure it is. Someone's shouting at me now. I got it
That's a fair
completely
old
wrong,
trek from
and
there
it's near
to bloody
Australia or something. But I'm pretty sure it's that
Indonesia.
way. Yeah, it's a fair old trip. I think
It's
I've
a long
got
way
that
for an
right.
away game
Probably haven't.
to get beaten 2-1. Um, yeah, so he's got his 12 caps. So what's he, 19? He's got 12 caps. How
Pretty good.
he'll soon be catching up with CR7
Pretty
on
good.
whatever he's on,
That's pretty
190 odd.
pretty good. Pretty good going. And I mean, on that basis, again, this is it's football talk. Kane edged one closer to Rooney the other night. I mean,
Yeah,
he's going to
he's
end up. I mean, he could well set a record that literally will never be beaten.
decent penalty, wasn't it? That one. Weren't
Oh,
stopping that one.
whew, hell of a game. I mean, how that? I mean, I just did not see that at all. But what a second half that was. Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we can talk about England. I didn't really watch it, but we can talk about England, Germany.
I
But
I
as
didn't. I
FPL
must
says,
confess, I was sort of dipping in and out of it really. But yeah, so when we got one back, I did start to watch it, and yeah, blimey, yeah, Bellingham looked really good.
yeah, I heard that. I listened to a pod and they said he was pretty much strolling, pretty much nailed on his start for the World
Oh
Cup.
yeah, no, he looked absolute class. Yeah, yeah. All right, Michael, you're right. Yeah, okay, mate.
Right,
We
here
don't
we go.
expect you to
Charlie,
him.
thank you, Charlie D. Thank you for
No,
trying to instill some sort of football chat into this allegedly football podcast. Will we now see McKenna using our squad depth or Ball, Keogh, Edwards, etc.? Well, as Joe said, and maybe yourself said, or someone in the comments said on Sunday, we've got so many games, haven't we? In October, it's going to have to.
we have. I think Joe's take on it as far as ball for Saturday was concerned was I thought a good take where he said, we're at home, we'll we will have, and it's against Portsmouth as well, so we will have more possession. And he thought, that would perhaps suit at this moment in time suit Evans. The game would suit Evans more than Ball. However, if Ball played, I don't think I'd be averse to that. But I wouldn't be. Yeah, possibly. I'll just see what Mullet's saying.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of comments here. So, for example, David saying that he'd have Ball in for
mm,
Evans. FPL Tractors asking the same sort of questions. Mullet saying he'd have Keogh and Ball for Fridge and Evans, and Vincent Young at on the right, shall we say, rather than giving him a position to help out Donatian. Do we look to rest Evans? Says Charlie. So the thing is, I suppose at what point do you start giving others who are champion at the bit a chance? Yeah, obviously we've been top of the league, so it's difficult to do so. But
yeah, and I
after
think I
that,
think I think at this moment in time, out of all of them, Ball must be the closest. I know he's only really played in the AFL trophy games along with Keogh, but I mean he looks the part, doesn't he? He really does look the part. So he to me would be the closest. But would I be surprised if he left both Edmondson and Evans out for Keogh and Ball on Saturday? I think both changes. I think I would be surprised. Um, yeah, but they're the two I think. Ball and Keogh. Edwards. I thought Edwards did okay the other day coming off the bench. Actually, I mean, when he got on the ball, he didn't waste the ball. He got an effort, sort of, cut inside, dropped his shoulder, showed confidence, got an effort on goal there. But Yeah, I'm so looking forward to Saturday. I really am. But you know, it's the same old, isn't it? It's Ipswich and these big games in the last. God, Craig, I don't know.
Yeah,
When's the last time Arsenal? Probably you are going back 10 or 11 years to the Arsenal, semi-final. The big game, and we did turn up and we turned them over in the first leg. Okay, second leg, but how many games have we gone into over the last? I'd say 10, 12 years where we just it just haven't turned up for these big games. But I feel differently about Saturday. I'm reasonably confident. I think.
I think people were reasonably confident going into Sunday, weren't they?
Well,
Good evening,
yeah.
Jules. Good evening to you, my friend. Sorry.
Hey, Jules.
Here's a question from Merrill. Thank you, Merrill, for your question. Who do you think was this summer's best purchase? And they've gone for Keogh for his
Wow.
knowledge and experience, and that may still well be the case. Obviously, he hasn't had a chance to start any league games as yet, but we're not out of September yet. We've got a hell of a
Keogh,
lot of the season to go. Be
just
interesting to
sorry.
hear
Correct me if I'm wrong.
hear
I'm
other people.
not being pedantic here. Was Keogh actually a purchase?
What, did he just turn
Yeah.
up and start? Did he? I said, well, I know what you mean. A signing then. I'll,
I
I'll
know.
re-
Sorry, no, that's me
Oh,
being
he's
this
horrible, isn't
being
he, Merrill?
being
Sorry,
frivolous.
Merrill.
Sorry, Merrill, and you're a first time. You're a first time
Yeah,
on the
he's not
on.
normally like this.
Join. No, I'm
Please
not.
watch again.
I'm not at all. I'm not at all. No. You may well have something there, Merrill. I mean, obviously, I've got to get this right. Ladapo hasn't exactly hit the ground running. So yeah, he may well be onto something there. We're yet to see. I think Ball will be a very good player for us. I really do. But obviously, we're yet to see him yet. But as of we're yet to see again much of Keogh. But yeah, you could well be right with Keogh's um, championship and very recent championship experience. 30 games last season, and his overall experience. You could well be right. Could be an inspired signing.
Yeah, exactly. Time will tell. We're not really
Yeah.
going to know until, as you say, everyone's had a fair crack of the whip, and people have started a half dozen games or so. You'll see how they come in.
Yeah, I
Charlie's
mean,
come in. Sorry, just a quick one. Charlie's come in with an actual explanation of the reason why you're going to get a phone call in 5 minutes' time. It's going to be a wrong number.
hang on, 8:26, guys. I did tell you a lump on it.
Sorry, Dave, you were saying.
Forgotten.
Cool.
No, I mean, I think going back to Evans, I think it'd be a little bit harsh. I think if Evans was left out Saturday, I think he weren't at his best Sunday. There probably were one or two that were below par, and probably Morsey overall was below
Yeah,
par. And he could look. Let's face it, Morsey could well have gone, could easily have
yeah,
gone for that challenge. And yes, Evans. I think Evans just got frustrated and he did lose his head a bit. I think we all saw that, but probably, given I think he's been pretty well, let's see, pretty good. I think he's been better than that. He's been very, very good for the most part of this season. And I think someone said he was a bit off it against Sheffield Wednesday. I didn't really think he was, but and they said he was culpable for one of the goals there. When I was thinking about it, and I couldn't quite remember that, but I'd probably be a bit harsh if he was left out on Saturday. I think.
you think he's got
But
enough
but
in
having
the
said
bank?
that, I'd still like to see Ball given a chance. At least Ball. The Ball. The classic with Ball is, and it hasn't worked out that way yet. It hasn't been used that way yet. If you're 1 up, if you're 2-0 up, it's a tight game. Just bring him on
Yeah,
and shut the game down.
yeah,
Shut the
that's
game
been a
down.
surprise, isn't it? Certainly from the Wednesday match, sorry, point of view.
Yeah,
People,
definitely.
bring on Bannon, stick him on Bannon, get him to kick Bannon, nibble Bannon. He's been booked for
There was
70 minutes.
If I'm being critical of the manager, they were the two. Bringing Keogh on. Bringing Keogh on and dropping really deep against Wednesday. In hindsight, and I think probably I don't. Yeah, okay. Ladapo had scored his goal, but he was certainly being a presence up there on Sunday, wasn't? And he was getting hold of the ball and he was winning the ball, and actually, like I said, keeping hold of the ball and bringing others into play Sunday. So who knows? I'd have liked to have seen perhaps another at least 10, 15 minutes out of him, and I think he was good for it. To me, on Sunday, he didn't particularly look leggy or anything like that.
No, no. Just a bit of news from Mullet. He's got his Norwegian socks on,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know if that's a euphemism for something. Actually, leave me. Hold on.
Oh,
I'm, I've got some Swedish socks on.
oh, Swedish. Very
How's
nice.
that?
Very nice. Very
If anyone's
nice.
got any Scandinavian socks, let us know in the comments.
Nah,
Finnish,
sadly.
Danish, maybe.
I've got
Um,
Callaway golf socks on, but there you go.
always has to get it around to golf. Sorry, apologise, everyone. Apologies, everyone.
Yeah, sorry. Did I?
Max is saying here, ball in for Evans. Hasn't done a lot wrong, but found wanting last 2 games. Time to see what Ball can do. Yeah, there is certainly that train of thought, isn't there? But as you say,
Yep.
Dave, has Evans got enough in the bank? And as Joe says, do you need Evans in a game like, hopefully, we'll have
We'll have more
the
possession.
majority of possession to
Yeah.
make do.
Well, 2 o'clock at the Greyhound, all will be revealed.
By who, Dave? Are you going to be revealing?
Well, I
Or
think I
one of your
possibly will
friends?
there if my if the famous celebrity ex-player is there, no doubt he'll be reading out the teams, and I'll be trying to do a bit of comparing. Yeah,
Comparing or comparing?
comparing even.
Go compare.
Go compare.
So, yes, question here from Michael. Excuse me. Do you think we play better when Harness or Chaplin play rather than both on the pitch from the start?
Do we?
Just
I've got to read
explain that
that.
to me. Have I read that properly, or am I not
Yeah,
reading it?
yeah. Do we think it's better than play rather than both on the pitch from the start?
I suppose do they? Can
Do they
someone?
complement each other? Is that what
Yeah,
he's trying?
compliment each other. Do they get in each other's way? Are they better with coming on as an impact sub? But the thing is, I suppose now Aluko's um, out injured for a period of time. We're starting to get a little bit limited, I suppose. In John Jules a part of who we can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Craig, but I thought that was probably Harness's worst game, maybe even of the season. But certainly to date, I think, not certainly to date, in the last few games, I think that's probably Harness's worst game. He wasn't very good at all. Sunday was the ball was just getting away from him. His touch wasn't great. I mean, that was a good chance he had second half, wasn't it? When the ball was
Yeah,
sort of played across the box, and again, his first touch wasn't great, and he had to rush the shot really. So I
can't
don't
do it.
think he was particularly at his best. So wouldn't be surprised if he certainly didn't start on Saturday.
And he wasn't great when he came on at Wednesday, was he? He
No,
didn't.
no, he
He
wasn't.
got, he
Where
got booked.
again,
Did well. He could have well have got sent off against Wednesday for those niggly fouls
oh,
that
he
he gave away after
absolutely could have done. And you'd
he got
think that
yellow.
Chaplin, I know we said about Evans having credit in the bank. Well, he's certainly. I mean, Harness has scored goals as well, but Chaplin's been pretty outstanding. Yes, he was quieter certainly on Sunday, and we all know that not the best decision when defending the corner, but yeah, you would think he's almost a nailed on starter now.
Yeah. AD is asking, am I right in saying the chap with the bell, Mr. Portsmouth, was banned from Portman Road a few years ago? Miss John Portsmouth Football Club,
Well, I
Westwood, isn't
mean,
it? Westman.
yeah, something like that. Was that not was that not the game when they were about to go up and Pablo and Tommy Miller were outstanding? That was on Sky and we beat them 3-0 and they were
And they're
jumping
all
and
over the
running up and
roof of
down the
the terrace
exec
thing,
box.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
on the
So I think it
executive
was
box.
probably goes back to then, but I mean, I mean, it's obviously
He
a
owns a
Portsmouth game.
bookstore, a bookshop, doesn't
I
he? That
think
John
so.
Westwood.
I
He's
think
like
you're
an
right.
independent bookshop owner.
Think he does, as he did or still does our Harry from Bath. Whether he still does,
Yes,
I'm not quite
very
sure.
similar characters.
Absolutely,
When you see Harry with his top off and he's got head to toe in Ipswich Town tattoos and
absolutely
ringing his
ringing his
bell.
bell, ringing his bell.
Oh yeah,
I thinking about it, you might be right because I can't recall. I just about recall the game from last season, and can I remember him there with a belt? No, I can't. So
no.
maybe he still is. Don't know. There you go. Told you. Told you.
North. For
Well,
those listening, Mullet has googled that Curacao is just north of Venezuela.
so I was on the right continent.
Yes, um, rather than east of Java, which is where he was playing,
East
where
of
they were playing.
Krakatoa.
Yeah, it's east of Krakatoa. Dan's points out, yes, 5 games in 15 days coming up.
Yeah, yeah. That
Um, yeah, and it's going to. Excuse me. Gary's asking if there's any update on injuries. Well, I don't know. I haven't. There hasn't been any given. There hasn't been any pre-match. Obviously, Rich
no.
and
I mean,
Seb will cover that Friday night in the
yeah, they
live.
will. But I think we all know that obviously Lee and Crikey and obviously Burgess are fairly long term, aren't they? There.
Yeah,
I mean, they're saying that. As I was corrected on Sunday, Lee's going to be 6 weeks in a brace alone, isn't he? I believe.
yeah,
And Burgess is X-rays just looked horrific, didn't it? I mean, awful. You know,
Yeah.
quite innocuous, really. When as quite close to me where I sit, and it looked all
Yeah.
quite innocuous, but the guy just followed through momentum-wise, and absolutely clocked him, didn't he?
Well, it was a clattering challenge from Burgess, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he really
Proper
committed. Yeah,
challenge.
proper. So, they're obviously, they're obviously reasonably long time. I mean, I'd be surprised. I think again, we said this on Sunday. I'd be surprised if perhaps we see either of those before the new year. I would have thought. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to be very careful, haven't you? Certainly with poor old
Yeah.
Burgess. You don't want to get another knock. David, good evening. Honestly, my
David,
friend, you don't need to keep
you really
doing it. Thank
don't.
you very
Very,
much
very kind, David.
for your
Very
10-euro
kind. We will
donation.
treat you royally when you make it over here.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, that's reminding me, if others want to come and join us, segue, on the 12th of November, after the Cheltenham home game, we have got a live pod happening at Portman Road. Hashtag #PackoutPR4BM. There you go. I've made my own
There you
hashtag up.
go.
If you go on to Blue Monday ITFC.co.uk, there's a link for tickets. So we're doing a pod live, 8 o'clock, I believe it starts after the Cheltenham game. So you can watch a Cheltenham match. You can pop into town or something to eat, have a beer, come back, and watch 6 or 7 blokes make idiots of themselves. I'm going to say
Absolute
on a
fools of
stage.
themselves. Yeah. Blue Monday Live 2.
Blue Monday Live 2. Going through October fixtures, Max says 2 home games, Pompey and Derby, where we need to make a statement, and a number of away games against lower league opposition. Chance to cement top 2. He's going for 19 points from a
Wowzers!
possible 21.
Wow, I really like that positivity, Max.
That'd be
Crikey.
that'd be some good game. But he's absolutely right, 100% about the Pompey and Derby
Yeah,
games.
home games.
It really is getting to a point where we do need to
Yeah.
not necessarily make a statement, but at least get some wins from those type of
Yeah, I
games.
mean those 2 home games against the 2 tops. Well, yeah, they are at the moment, aren't they? Bolton and Barnsley, just about. Yeah, we've obviously drawn both of those. Could have won easily. We're much a better side, I think, ultimately in the Bolton one, and yeah, very, very much in the Barnsley game. We're much the better side, and easily could have taken another 4 points out of those 2. Core would be sitting pretty, wouldn't we? But then you think back, we should have beaten Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, we should have 30 points.
Charlie D is asking how much of a project is Ahadmi. As Joe said the other day, he looked quite a downgrade on Freddie at the weekend. Yeah, he just looks. Excuse me, I don't know where coughs come from. He just looks raw, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Rough around the edges, which we knew he was when he signed. So I was at Burton, and he did look good. He roughed up
He did.
Edmondson and Wolfenden. But it's going from. It's one thing going from bottom of the table Burton, where you're just doing the best you can and roughing people up, to being top of the table, top 2 Ipswich, and
fitting in a
looking
style of football,
yeah,
as a particular style of football as well.
that's it.
Yeah, he is. You're right. He's raw, but hope with the necessary coaching, as Bobby Robson used to say, time on the grass. He'll get some refinement, a bit of refinement in his game, and be a good signing. He's certainly young enough to develop, and he's certainly got the physical prowess. So
Yeah.
yeah, as you say, I totally agree. It is a project, I think.
And I suppose for the time being, he's also an option if you are behind the game and needing just to create a bit of chaos. And I appreciate that chaos isn't really in McKenna's vocabulary. I don't think
Yeah.
everything's planned to the nth degree,
Yeah,
but
but no,
he's an
I've said
option to
before.
swing on.
I think we've all said before that perhaps in recent seasons, or we have missed that physical unit up front, and in some games you do need that.
Yeah, yeah. Charlie's just responding to Max saying about the lower league away games, a good chance to put a big run together, and that is something we have been. Our away form, Sunday apart, is pretty
And
impressive.
this season, for a change, against those teams you'd think we should be, well, we have been sort of dispatching them fairly, perhaps Burton aside, but all the others have been reasonably comfortable, haven't they?
Graham Hick.
There you go.
David's going for KVY for Jackson down the right. Yeah, I suppose, but yes, I get that from giving Danasin a bit more stability in front of him from a defensive perspective. But I thought Jackson did fine. Certainly going forward, he was pretty much our only
I
outlet
thought
in
he did.
terms of getting crosses.
I thought he did do well, but surely, am I missing something? Burns will be back Saturday, won't he? Am I missing
Yeah,
something here? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I'm not. I thought. Hang on a minute.
Good point,
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah. Burns will certainly be back Saturday if he's fit, without a doubt. I would have thought.
Yeah, he didn't get overworked, did he, for
Not
Wales?
really. It has to be said. Not really, but look, good experience for the lad, no doubt.
Yeah.
Must be just training with, or how much training he actually does. Training with Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale must be an
Watch.
insight, I would have thought. But how much
Yeah,
Gareth Bale has to train these days? He probably just stands there pinging free kicks in from 35, 40 yards.
practicing his
Probably.
golf swing. Um,
Yeah.
Nick asked how many Pompey fans are going to go with
Well,
train
yeah.
strikes. Well, like they'll by hook or by crook. I think that they'll make it, won't they? Jules has responded saying that talking to his cousin, they're sold out basically 1,900 tickets, which they always do. So and they always
I mean, it
create
will be. I mean, it was pretty good against Sunderland last year, wasn't it? Before
yeah.
Christmas, pretty good. But I think Saturday will eclipse that, because, as you say, they're very vocal and loud, and yeah, it'll be absolutely superb.
Now FPL, look, calling Rich and Seb Stadler and Waldorf, fine, perfect. They're archetypical, grumpy old men. But come on, this is comedy gold tonight. This is
I mean, honestly, I don't know. You know, we're just
Eric
giving
and
the
Ernie.
masses. We're giving the masses what they want, mate. We're giving them two Ronnies.
Eric and I didn't say Bert and Ernie. I said Eric and Ernie. Jules is sorry to throw a spanner in the works, but
Oh,
McKenna has got to take a lot of blame for his substitute. Come on then, Jules, let's stir it up. A lot of blame for his substitutions against Wednesday and Plymouth, in
yeah.
his opinion. I don't think just your opinion, Jules. It is. It did affect, as you said, Dave. You were at Wednesday, and the
Yeah, it did affect the
substitutions
game. We
just
got
pulled us
yeah.
backwards, and then they didn't
Wednesday,
affect the game at all on Sunday.
Wednesday was the game where, you've got the standout player who was, he's exceptional, Bannon, and that was the game where you thought, just bring ball on, and as you quite rightly said, just sit on him, absolutely sit, just follow him, waste a player, just follow him, sit on him. And yeah, for one reason or not, he decided no, that wasn't the way to go. We got deep, and yeah, in the end, perhaps paid the price. But he's, and again, as people have said, people have not called him out. It's not right, he called him out, but people have made this point. But then, dwelt back. He's a 35, 36-year-old. His first job in management. He's doing a great job. He's on a steep learning curve himself. So it's all still a learning experience for the manager, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. He's not even been a job for a year, is he?
No,
Was it 10 months?
no,
10 months or so.
no.
But George, you're well within your rights. We're not in a position where it's emperor's new clothes. We can't question decisions that are
I can.
being made. He's not
I
he's not
bet.
going to get everything right.
I'll tell you what, Jules. I bet you used to throw Bobby Robson under the bus, didn't you? I bet you did.
It was one of those, dear Dave, one of the booers early doors.
I'm sure. I'm sure he isn't. I'm sure he isn't. No, no. Jules was back in the day. I'm sure quite fanatic.
Dan's asked, made a statement really. He's happy with Morsey and Evans starting, but need to get ball on when they end up on yellow cards.
Yeah.
Well, it does. It certainly did on Saturday, didn't it? It brought them down a little bit. It's going to naturally take the edge off things. You've got to trust these guys from a professional perspective that they're not going to get another booking on the back of having got one early doors,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
it will
Morsey.
affect their game.
Yeah, it will. And I suppose if there was a criticism, yeah, he was off him. Evans was basically reckless, wasn't he? It was pretty reckless second half, wasn't he? He was just a booking, a booking waiting to happen there. Morsey, yeah, just a shame. Just a shame he picked that one up. But yeah, that was also naughty. But yeah, they're gonna. I mean, Morsey at some point is gonna. I'm not sure how many. Is he 2 away? When do you know when the cut off? I should know this. When do
It's
you know when
quite a
the
way into the season, isn't it? I don't
it's
think
still
it's.
quite a way in, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Is he?
If anyone knows, let
Yeah,
us
someone will
know in the
tell us.
comments.
And how close is he? Did I? I
I
thought I
think we
read somewhere he might be 1 or 2 away,
Well, I think
possibly.
we've got a few players, haven't we? I think Davis has got 3 bookings, maybe as well, 3 or 4, isn't he? So
Yeah.
for petty little things, nothing extravagant or out of the ordinary. But I think we've got 2 or 3 who are edging towards that. I think we're the
And
second highest bookings in the league. I
and do you
read.
know what? Looking at these bookings, for all the nice football we play, obviously we are a physical side, because I can't remember many of those bookings being for been for descent or anything else,
No,
can you?
no.
Not
They'll
really.
be,
Maybe
but then
handballs.
is that showing that we are starting to become a more streetwise
Oh, absolutely.
team?
Oh,
You know, like
a more rounded team.
Edmondson at the weekend, and he got
Yeah.
a
Oh,
bunch of
yeah.
coming back,
Yeah. Yeah.
cynical on the
Yeah.
halfway line.
Yeah.
And
And you
Durkin
need
wasn't
that.
there to send him off like he did John Walk that time at Carrow
Oh,
Road.
oh, don't. Yeah, we are. I think we are a more rounded team now.
Yeah. Pete has said Evans struggled against Wednesday and Plymouth as we didn't dominate possession. That's an interesting one, actually. We'll come to that day. Whether that was certainly at Wednesday, whether that was intended.
We went a lot
Um,
longer. I mean, we did. We went long Sunday, I thought, long, but Wednesday was particularly evident. He really did. I mean, he certainly kicked. Walton certainly kicked a lot more than we played from the back. Wednesday, he was just every time he was looking to get either Burns or Jackson away in those channels, and he was pinging some great balls as well. People were saying Sunday about his distribution, which I didn't think was too bad. You're always going to get those ones where the ball's passed back and he's under pressure, and then you go to clear it first time and you I said shank it, but don't quite make as
yeah,
good a connection. Every keeper's going to have that, but I think what has been evident from Walton from the start is his distribution and kick. He's got a lovely left foot, and he absolutely pings it, doesn't he? That's
it's
got a
got
lot
better, a
better.
lot
Yeah,
better since
a
he
lot
joined,
better. Yeah, yeah,
hasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
I
Absolutely.
thought he was pretty ordinary when he joined, but
No, I
so
agree.
over the summer,
You can see
the
he's
first
worked on it.
8-10 games of this season, he's been dinking balls over the press
Yeah, not
into
just.
midfield.
No, you're absolutely right. Not just driving the balls long in the channels, but absolutely just chipping the balls in. Yeah.
Here we are. There's a question from our FPL, just in case we've got any Kent followers. I said Kent followers about Gillingham. Talking of soon to be 200 cap Elkin Baggott, has anyone got any insider knowledge of why Gillingham are so bad?
No.
He was partly sent there as everyone expected them to be challenged. Well, certainly with the manager, crikey, we've gone. Paul Cook dropped, from Championship to League One to I'm going to call it the Conference, the National League. But Neil Harris has gone from mid-table Championship to what they bottom two, bottom three of League Two.
I
Isn't
haven't
it? I don't
looked
know
at
why.
Gillingham. I knew they were struggling. I didn't realise they were quite so low. And obviously Rochdale winning at Cole U obviously
Yeah,
has brought them back into the equation a bit. I mean, it's obviously only 10 games in for God's sake, but I didn't quite realise they were that low. So I don't know. And I haven't actually noticed on there how many goals they've been conceded. But I think, from what I understand, I think he's been fairly regular starter,
yes.
hasn't he? Yeah, I
Yes,
think
yes. I
so.
think he's played every game, and I think he's been getting half decent reviews. They are currently, I've just looked it up, they're 20th,
Bloody hell.
although only 2 points off the bottom.
Cole U must only, what, 18th? Must they be? 19th?
21st.
Cole
No, they're
U.
below.
Oh my God,
Yeah, yeah,
blimey.
yeah. Well, Hartlepool and Rochdale are the bottom two, and obviously Rochdale beat Collier at the weekend, so they've crept up on them. So Collier were 1 point off the bottom of
Wow.
League Two.
All is not well. All is not well
No,
then.
it's not. No, and I don't think. Obviously, Freddie Sears missed a late penalty, didn't he, the weekend? I don't think Alan Judge is pulling up any. A bit of a shock to everyone. Alan Judge is pulling up many trees there.
No, I don't think he is. No, it just hasn't quite worked. Now they've got injuries. I know Tommy Smith is out fairly long term, isn't he? Struggling with
Yeah,
I believe, a foot injury or something like
foot
that. So they have
tendon,
got.
as we've heard.
Yeah, I know they've got. I know they have got injuries there, but yeah, with Wayne Brown going and stuff, there's some issues there. But I mean, look, as far as Baggett's concerned, at least he's getting game time. Unlike
Corey and
Corey and
Derby.
Dabber and at Burton, who's not really getting any, is he?
No, no, it doesn't appear. But I don't know if he was injured. I think for a
Well, yeah,
touch
I
of it. But
think he
I don't.
was. So maybe he is on the comeback.
But
Maybe he's not quite
I
fully
don't.
fit.
Have they appointed a new manager yet, Burton?
Haven't noticed
No,
if they have.
no. Charlie's got a bit more attire recommendations.
Oh,
Japanese Roto
hello.
socks.
Okay.
Check them out and thank me later. Charlie, I'm happy with my Swedish. Honestly, these are like I'm going to buy four pairs of these for the family,
Like wearing
and I will save on
your
heating for
ovens
like
on your
next year.
feet. That's what we want.
Yeah,
Japanese roto socks. We need a better description of those, Charlie. I think Japanese roto socks. Yeah, I'm intrigued now. Craig's now
yeah.
going to Google them.
David's showing off. He's got Tommy Hilfiger's socks
Yeah,
on. Well, give
yeah.
them back to him, Dave. For God's sake, his feet are getting cold. Um, one or the other. Not as a. Oh, we're not talking socks anymore, Michael. Sorry, I thought you were. I thought you were going on the sock route there, my friend. I do apologise.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh dear.
question from Neil.
Oh, yeah,
Anyone else think
serious.
that Aluko is the biggest miss at the moment? Sunday was perfect for him, and maybe this Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just a bit of
He.
calmness, isn't it? I know it's one of Joe's things, isn't it? That when you have Chaplin and Harness on the
It's all
pitch,
a
they're
bit.
both looking to
Yeah,
create all
yeah,
the time.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
never any just take a step back and
yeah.
take a touch and
Look, and
control it rather
he's
than always looking to create.
such an experienced player. Sorry, I forgot in the injuries that were aforementioned injuries. I totally forgot about Aluko, who again is possibly well even more long term than the other two, isn't he? I would well say
Yeah.
certainly he is. Yeah, I think he is a miss at the moment. He was so good, wasn't he? Absolutely so good at the start of this. Little cameos at the start of the season, brilliant, wasn't he? He could keep hold of the ball. He just knows when to hold it, when to give it, and yeah, there's no substitute for experience. So yeah, I think we are missing him. Yeah, all for a what was it 6-0 Northampton game, wasn't it? He did it.
Yeah, but then do when we get to January? Crikey, I'm talking about January. We're not even out of September yet, but it's going to come to the point whereby we see how fit he is, how close he is to
Yeah,
reappearing, and you might need to have to
I
look
mean
for a
it's a
position that you thought you were strong in.
it's a bad injury to have at his time of his career is at his age, isn't it? It's not a great
Yeah,
injury there. I mean, no serious injuries, but that one is yeah was a well, doubly bad, wasn't it? Ligaments at that.
yeah. Hello, Daniel. Good evening to you. We're talking about
I'm sure.
John Westwood here. I think he's been banned. 2003 was a long time ago. Crikey,
Yeah,
it
I'm
certainly
sure.
was, mate.
Oh, yeah, it
Crazy.
was, mate. Yeah, Christ, was that when it was? Oh my God. Yeah, it's just
Um,
the 20 seasons.
and
Yeah, I'm sure he has been back. Yeah.
Michael suggested we cut his clapper off, which I think is actually the correct term for the dongle inside a bell. Good
I
work,
think I,
Michael.
I think you're right. It's certainly not a dongle. I know that.
See, we learn all sorts here, don't we? Giving plumbing advice.
Do you
We're
know
learning
what?
what the thingy
Every day
hanging
on
in
the
the.
podcast is a school day, Craig. Every
You don't
single
get
day.
this. You don't
Yeah.
get this everywhere.
No.
Yes, this was it, AD. Yeah, top of the league with Harry and Jim. That was it, wasn't it?
They
They
were.
pretty much sang it for all 90 minutes.
I remember. Oh, sorry, Clang. I remember speaking to
But Bell,
Pablo about that game. That is one of Pablo's favorite town games, and him and Tommy Miller that day were absolutely on a telepathic they weren't they had that move, didn't they? Miller would get the ball, just look for Pablo, would be backing in, just play it to him. He'd hold it up. Miller would
lay it
make
off.
the run, bang, goal. See ya, super.
Tommy Miller and Pablo Canago, David. Are there any interviews available anywhere?
Oh, do you know what? I think you don't have to look very hard for those. I'm sure you will find them in the Blue Monday archive somewhere. I'm sure they're there.
Yeah. You go onto
A very
YouTube every.
interesting Tommy Miller story about when he gave me a lift home, but I'm sure you've all heard that one before.
Yeah, but honestly, if you're bored between now and the
Oh
flag, sorry, now and the pre-match show on Friday,
yeah,
get
oh,
onto YouTube, Blue Monday, subscribe, obviously.
yeah, obviously.
And once you've done that, Pablo, Tommy Miller, I'm
Oh,
going to forget people, so I'm not going to mention anymore. Jason Azell, George Burley.
oh.
But there are lots and lots and lots just to while away a few hours. They're all good value.
Yeah.
Christian Walton, of course, Rich and his Christian Walton one, which
Oh,
got
now that yeah, and that was very good. Yeah,
yeah,
very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mullets um, asked a question: would John Jules benefit from a start this weekend? Feels like he's close to putting it all together. Yeah, he didn't do great when he came on, did he? On Sunday.
It just didn't make the greatest decision with that effort, didn't he? I mean, it wasn't a bad effort, and to be fair, the keeper made quite a good save with his sort of right hand, didn't he, in the near post there? But he
Yeah,
probably could have got his head up
better,
and laid
better
that
options.
square. Yeah. Um, but yeah, perhaps you might see him Saturday for Harness. That seems at the moment it seems to be one or the other in that position, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Honey Badger Games. I play in the Ipswich Elite Player
Ah,
Development Centre, and as does my little boy, Honey Badger.
there you
You have to
go.
let me know what group you're in. He might be with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the new training kit is beautiful. It is. It's very nice actually. Although my
Very
boy has to wear the
expensive. Wow, it's like
Ipswich.
40 quid for a training top, isn't it?
Well, in the shop,
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, they do have the kids that do I'm going to see what the acronym is again. I keep forgetting EPDC. They got this fantastic sweatshirt. It's not. I don't think it's available in the shop. It's like a
Oh,
proper '90s, just plain blue Umbro sweatshirt. It's really,
oh.
but they don't. They only do 15, 16
I
year old
think
size.
Joe's got one.
Unfortunately,
Have
not.
you seen the one? I'm sure Joe's got most of the kits in the last 50 years, hasn't he? But I think he's got one of the old training tops, which is the off orange type training top with a big Umbro diamond on the front. With
Mm,
I think it might be an authentic because I think you might actually have the little training number on there as well. That's
mm.
a pucker sweatshirt. That one.
Yeah, we talked about it before. I used to have in the playing Steve Whitten era
Oh,
was the Umbro one with like the really heavy like rugby top material
the drill
training top.
top. Yeah, I had one
Yeah,
of
it
them.
was like red and blue top and bottom sort of thing.
I had
Oh,
I had a navy one with a big Umbro diamond on it. It was had like a collar on, didn't it? Like a heavy drill top. Yeah.
yeah, wore it to
Yes,
death.
they were so cool. They were.
Good evening, Barles Barley. Good to see you,
Yeah.
mate. Welcome. David's coming over in April.
There you
Well,
go, David.
let us know. Keep us updated, David, and
Yeah.
we'll all shout you an Adnams or a lemonade, whatever's your poison.
Where is your
Um,
libation?
Mi- Michael Jackson as a number 9 is a no for me. I think I agree with you there, Michael.
Yeah.
Playing wide or in the front too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
he hasn't he doesn't hold the ball up. He's got plenty of plus points. One of them isn't his close control with back to goal. I don't think, which is what we sort of need from our number
No,
nines
he
with the
hasn't.
way we play.
And yeah, he just. I don't think he's quite got the physical presence of the Ladapo to probably obviously a lot more athletic, but yeah, hasn't got the physical presence of Ladapo to play that central role. I would say, or a first touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Neil
Hello,
says, hold
gold.
the ball up.
Hole. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
said. I thought you
No,
said
exactly.
Jackson cannot golf ball up, but it's gold, wasn't it? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Neil's gone on to say, he can't hold the ball up. Ladapo has the physicality. Sunday, the ball kept coming back once we changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. But then,
I mean, we were terrible, weren't we? We really didn't react at all after that first goal went, and let alone the second goal. The first goal, we just really didn't react at all. It was a big drop off, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. But then you'd think that, the analysts, the amount of eyes and cameras they've got on the game, this isn't anything that, we don't just see this. They obviously see it. And you'd think they know that
Oh,
that
I've
isn't
got
Jackson's way of playing. And
no, it isn't. And I think we've got to give credit to, Plymouth managed the game really well, didn't they? After they got the equaliser, they really did. They pretty much
yeah,
managed, other than the the unbelievable header in the last knockings of the game. They managed that game out really well, didn't they?
yeah. Nick's concerned that the lower teams are the ones that worry him to come and basically turn the game into a bit of a scrap. I personally, I'm not. Not wishing to, got your own opinion, Nick, but I think the way we're playing at the moment,
Yeah, I think we'll
famous last words, we'll get to 80 minutes and we'll still be banging on the door at 0-0. But I just think we'll just keep going and
we'll
going and
create
going and
enough
going
against
and
those teams. Yeah, I agree. I
knocking
agree.
them down.
Yeah.
The issue I've got, Nick, is the teams who are as good as us. They're the ones that we need to start
Well, look, as long as
showing
we
us.
don't, you don't want to be losing too many. Look, we all hope we get a win Saturday, and we can't lose that game. Well, we can lose that game, but you know what I mean. It would not be. You'd be in a fairly average run of form if you get beaten. If you get beaten on Saturday, so we just need to take points from these teams. Bully all
Yeah,
the other teams and beat all the other teams, and just stop them pick out maximum points against us, and we'll be all right.
yeah. Although Gary's agreeing with Nick that lower teams hurt us most last season, which they did. But we've got to think we had half a season with a different manager, didn't we, last
But
season? So
I think Gary, just look at our results against these lower teams this season compared to last season, and I don't know what was it. Someone put it up there on the Telegram group. We're like 13 points better off by comparative games.
yeah, yeah. Barnes. Oh, do you think we'll get more live TV games while the World Cup? Well, let's all hope so, Barnes, because we set the world on alight, don't we, when we're on telly? Who knows what Sky are going to do when the World Cup's on? Crikey, they're going to have very, very, very little cancel subscriptions for a month or so. Everyone, there's going to be
It's gonna be bloody National League, and oh my crikey, I dread to think.
yeah, yeah. Michael's maybe put Walton up top. If we take off Freddie May, just swap places.
Yeah,
Just
bring on
rush.
Flagship. Yeah, superb.
float goalkeepers, was it, or rush float goalkeepers? Where you anyone went in goal, wasn't it?
Rush, innit? Rush goalie. Rush goalie.
Rush goalies where the goalie went out, but float was when anybody could go in.
Oh,
You not have that?
okay. Oh, no,
An Essex,
no.
that North Essex thing.
I think it's more of a North Essex. I don't know rush goalies. I know what you mean. Yeah. Float keepers. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
And if you're inside the area, you have to shout keeper, and then you could catch the ball. That's what we used to.
Don't think that made it over the border into Suffolk, mate.
No,
Not
no.
back in my day.
He's no finish. He's 32. Michael Pentyfear Smith.
I saw. Yeah, now Jules
being
is
coached.
now. Hang on, here we go. So I've got to drop this in. Jules is a PGA qualified golf coach. So Mikey is getting some sneaky. No, not sneaky. Is getting some coaching from him. So fair play. I must say, one of Jules's alumni. You would like this. You probably know this. Is Stuart Slater.
Is he really?
He certainly is.
Does he juggle golf balls?
I'm sure he does. And I think also it was Steve Whitten as well, but he didn't want to tell you that.
Ah,
that's not true.
No, he's gone off radar, mate. So
certainly Stuart Slater. Yes, I think he used to play golf with him quite regularly, but he's certainly he was one of Jules' pupils.
Oh, interesting. So Jules is the David Ledbetter of Ipswich Town.
The Pete Cowan, David Ledbetter, however you'd like to describe him.
That's literally
that's
pretty good for me in golf knowledge.
David Ledbetter is quite good. Yeah, David Ledbetter. Yeah,
Faldo, wasn't he?
Sorry,
he
was. He totally reshaped Nick Faldo's swing. Yeah,
that's my era. Yeah,
there you go.
Barles, do you think we should push to win the EFL trophy? Well, that's interesting actually, Barles, because the next. I don't think it matters too much, but the Cambridge game is like slap bang in the middle of all these matches that we're talking about having in October. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of team we put out. But I don't think it's going to matter too much unless there's like a freakish other result.
And it probably will be because it's us. No, I think it's virtually it is. I think you're right, Craig. It's almost what's the word? A dead rubber, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah, we would like that home game, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, have we since we played in this? Have we actually got out of the group stage yet?
Did we not go to Peterborough and win? Did El Mazzuni score a penalty? Was it him or Dobra that trotted up like John Travolta to take a penalty in the?
Well, I don't remember that.
Talk about John Travolta Saturday Night Fever, not
Pulp
John
Fiction.
Travolta. Look who's talking too.
Right, I've got to rewatch that penalty. Then I missed that. I should. Was that a knockout? That was a knockout game, was it? That must have been
so.
2019, was it? Must have been.
I don't know. I've probably made it all up. I think that was, but I think we've got through to the second round. Well, we did last year, didn't we? Because we got through by because didn't West Ham or whoever played an in.
I know we did because we played Arsenal. Yeah, no, you're right. We did. No, what am I talking about? That Arsenal game was like early December, so we must have done. Yeah. No, to be fair, we did.
They played incorrect player, didn't they? So we got through.
That's right. Yeah.
Mikey, we've been through this, mate. We've been through the temperature stuff. You'll need to.
I don't think, Mikey. I don't think you can compare the wastelands of Surrey
to the frozen
Arctic.
Yeah. He's talking, as Mullet's pointed out here, he's been lured in by we were going very much Scandinavian earlier, Mikey. You'll need to listen back tomorrow.
Be all over that, won't he?
Yeah. Charlie D, how is Pigott doing at Pompey? I don't think he is, Charlie.
Didn't you say he scored a hat trick against Chelsea under 14s or something?
Yeah, I think they played some sort of Chelsea reserve team or reserve team behind closed doors at the weekend. He got a hat trick, so he's still doing what he needs to do. But obviously, we won't see him Saturday at all. He's not allowed to play. But I don't think he's even getting. He may be getting on the bench, but he's not coming off the bench. I don't think for Pompey at the moment. Unfortunately for him. Neil saying it was cold tonight. Coaching his under 14s. It's that time of year now, Neil, isn't it? Those.
I think we need to know more, Neil. Where have you been coaching geographically wise? Where are you? I think we need to know so we can judge the temperature variation.
Yep. Dan, if Scott Twine doesn't get more than 21 minutes he's managed so far in the championship, wow, I didn't realise that.
No way, really?
we should try and get him on loan if Aluko isn't back. Well, that's
Wow,
that's a very good
that's
shout. I
a
didn't
hell of a
appreciate that he
shout.
wasn't
Me too.
getting under. So did he sign for Company? Company was manager, wasn't he, when he
I
signed
think
for
so. I think
for
so. Yeah,
Burnley?
yeah.
Yeah, it's not as if he
Wow,
come in and didn't fancy him, if you know what I mean.
that is not a bad shout at all. But unlikely. But yeah, I honestly thought he'd been 21 minutes. That's yeah,
Oh, right,
amazing.
interesting.
Mm.
Honey Badger lives in Nigel. We're talking about the EPDC. He goes to
Uh,
Beccles. Right.
okay.
Well, we go to Portman Road on a Friday evening. There you go.
Mecca.
Um, he wonders, and also wonders how we managed to get such quality players, championship quality in League One. Well, there are 2 or 3, aren't there? But I don't know how we managed to get these championship quality players in League One.
No, I got no
Um,
idea. Absolutely no
uh,
idea.
must be
Well,
the
no, well,
Suffolk
I tell you what,
sunshine.
you'll hear about it on Saturday from the Pompey fans, though. That's for sure. Just listen out for them. You'll hear about it.
Chrissy, good evening to you.
Hey,
No question,
Chrissy.
just a hello. As you really gets joined, well, it's good to have you. Good
Good
to have
stuff,
you, mate.
mate. Yeah.
Here's a question for everybody. Your favourite own goal you've seen by an Ipswich player?
Oh, seen by an Ipswich player. Didn't.
Yeah. Favourite? Can you have a favourite own goal? When you say favourite, do you mean most technically correct or funniest? Well, not then,
There's been some
funny.
funny ones. There's been some really funny ones. Didn't. I'm sure against Arsenal. Was it Eddie Yowds or someone? I got this wrong. Chipped the keeper from a long way out. And when we got that muddled up with someone else, I can't remember. But yeah, yeah, that escapes me. I'm sure I've seen some absolute beauties over the years.
And Nick asks, has anyone seen a goalkeeper score a goal in real life? Being there, he adds.
No,
No, I had friends who were at the Wickham Colchester conference, like title decider, and when it was Roy McDonough against Martin O'Neill for Wickham, and the keeper scored from a goal kick. Scott Barrett, I think his name was. He scored
Scott Barrett. Yeah.
from a goal kick. Yeah, straight up, wind assisted drop kick.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
unusual. That's the unusual one, isn't it? Begovic. Didn't Begovic do it, or did someone do it to Begovic? I got
Yeah.
that right. Yeah, someone did it to Begovic, didn't they? I mean, the very first one I can remember a goalkeeper scoring is Pat Jennings scored one in the Charity Shield against Man United. That was in black and white, I think, back in the 60s. But yeah, there's been several incidents of that since, hasn't there? But I think
Not
had
many
Walton.
from open players. It was.
Not
There was
really, no. Schmeichel, certainly Schmeichel. I mean, the most famous one is the Carlisle Jimmy Glass, isn't it?
Jimmy
Carlisle.
Glass.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the most famous one. But I tell you what, had Walton's head a towering header have gone in Sunday, they wouldn't have been many better than that. I don't think. Absolute textbook.
Mark saying it was Miles Kenlock who took a very odd penalty at Posh. There you go.
No
Yeah,
comments on that.
Kenlock.
No comments on that
Michael's
run
backed
up.
up. Oh, well, hang on. And FPL saying it's Barry Cotter. Well, come on, guys.
Oh,
Make your mind up.
make your
We've
minds
got
up.
access to the internet and stuff. We're just talking a load of old rubbish, off the
I
top of
think
our heads.
Barry Cotter does seem to have a ring of truth, a ring of familiarity about it. I think he might be right.
Yeah, Jules is talking about Stuart Slater. Gone from 20 down to 11 in a year. There you go. This is the sort of thing that Jules can do to your golf game, people. Tap him
He's
up
out
and
there and
he'll.
available. Jules is out there, available.
Yeah, yeah. And Daniel's pointed out. Yeah, we beat Peterborough and then lost to Exeter. Exeter was played on third round. That's right. We rearranged it for the
Oh
third round, though.
yes,
It's
young
all
Daniel. I know Daniel. Yeah, you're right,
sort of
Dan.
coming back to us. Neil's said it's Cotter. There
Yeah,
you go. Oh my good lord, Barley. Danny Sonner, Christ Almighty. Can you imagine an entertaining listen? Yeah, yeah. He
I,
was an interesting character, wasn't he?
I think to be honest, Bales, I think probably our former colleague and friend, not a former friend, our former colleague is probably very much not a former friend. He's one of my mates, all our mates. I think he would probably be first through the door on that one. He was pretty close to. I know he used to knock around with Danny Sonner back in the day.
Ah, really?
He certainly did. He's got some. Yeah, that would be quite a good interview because he's got a few good stories about Danny. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did we signed him from Germany, didn't we? He went over to
Did
Germany.
we did?
Got him from.
Good player. He could play. Can he? Silky player.
Yeah,
Not a lot of pace
yeah.
about him, but technically really good player.
Good touch, didn't he?
Did he go? And, Northern Ireland
Sheff-
squad, or did he play for Northern Ireland when he's with
he
us?
may well have done, yeah. Sheffield Wednesday
Yeah.
we sold him to, didn't he? He went on
That's
to
right. Yeah, good.
half decent sized club, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Sheffield
yeah,
Wednesday. Crikey, he
yeah.
got a good career, I think. Half decent career. Yes, Mark, we're just talking about the
Oh,
trophy,
painful.
Lee
You're right.
Martin
Yeah, of course.
Masterclass.
Of course.
And Neil is the tendering massive. Look,
Oh well, my colleague can tell you about that. Very, very breezy down there. Very cool down
little
there,
patch.
isn't it?
Yeah, well, at least you're not playing at Holland
Exposed.
on Sea, which is literally on the North Sea. There's no gap. It's North Sea straight onto the pitch there.
Yeah.
Graham's asking when
No.
Kamara is back. We don't know. Actually, hasn't been mentioned.
All
He
gone
didn't.
pretty quiet on that, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Which is a
yeah.
bit of a slight concern, I must admit.
Yeah, one from your era, Dave. Own goals. Michael
How
Scott,
could I
Alan Hunter
forget?
from the
Yeah,
halfway line. Over
against
Paul
Liverpool.
Cooper's head. My goodness, can't
I
imagine.
believe against Liverpool, Michael. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tony Vaughan.
Tony Vaughan. Don't remember that one. Jeff Hammond.
Now, I think I've got this right, Jules. Jeff Hammond's debut for Town, so this is Football Geek. I think Jeff Hammond's debut for Town, I believe, was against Chelsea in that famous goal that never was from Alan Hudson. Have you seen that? You still see that
Yeah.
YouTube when the ball clearly hits the outside stanchion and goes behind the goal, and the ref gives a goal. I believe that was Jeff Hammond's debut. I think. Sorry, just
Interesting.
sticks out in my mind. But again, yeah, dark days indeed, Jules. Were you there? He's probably Jules is probably that day in the shed on his own that day. It had probably
Having
only been about 10.
a tear up, yeah. And if it came off his nether regions, it would have been off the Hammond organ.
Tell you what, you
Um,
can't make this up.
Chris Swales against Villa. Right, guys, we're going to stop short. We've been going on for an hour. Christ, that's how we managed to squeeze an
And I've got
hour
to
out of
say,
this.
Doc Martin's on. Doc Martin's on.
You got your Doc Martens on. You don't need Doc
Doc
Martens if
Martins
you're
are
wearing
on, mate.
Swedish
So 18 hole. 18 hole. Look at that.
Swedish
Last
socks.
last series. Yeah, I can
Yep.
remember that, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of own goals now coming in. 6-4 crew, McGreal and Matt Richards' own goals.
Dear.
That was just a chaotic game from
That was a
start
mad
to finish.
game. Yeah, in
And
the good old
we're gonna
royal days.
we're gonna finish off here with a bit of pop triv for Dave. Right, we're gonna
Oh.
put him on the spot, and then we're
Stop.
gonna go. It's a question from FPL Tractor.
Stop
Is Kamara's nickname Aztec? All right, Dave. Here you go. Aztec camera. They weren't were they one hit wonder? Very possibly not.
Oh, I love
But
Aztec camera.
go on then. What was theirs?
Obvious. It's obvious.
All
Aztec
right, well
camera.
done. Who sang "Somewhere in My Heart" then?
Aztec camera as well. That was probably the bigger hit. I'm sure they
One
sang
each.
Somewhere in My Heart, and I'm sure they did sing It's Obvious as well. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that was Aztec camera. Yeah, good band, great band.
I hear your footsteps in the street. It won't be long before we meet.
It's
That one.
obvious somewhere in my heart. That's the one. Yeah.
And where else would you get an Aztec camera medley to finish the pod? Right. Well, I'm going to say that enough's enough. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sending us your messages and everything. It's been fantastic. It's been a blast for an hour and
Yeah, good fun. Yeah, good fun. And sorry to let you down, chaps. No landline tonight. What can I say?
I reckon he
All
unplugged it.
bets are off. So landline bingo.
Surreptitiously.
Landline bingo now. Now
It's a rollover.
It's a rollover. It's a rollover to Sunday.
Brilliant. Well, just have a think about that, guys. Between now and Sunday, 8 o'clock. Well, that's perfect. So, Rich and Seb Friday night live 8 p.m. for the pre-match show. Come and join them with a beer on a Friday night. Sunday night 8 p.m. live. We'll be going through Portsmouth, and I believe it's you and I again, Dave, probably, and maybe Benjamin Bloom, who's currently putting together IKEA furniture in his garage. I could say his downstairs garage. In his garage, is being
that was
turfed
quite
out.
funny. Rich described that today as death by Alan Key.
Good player, Alan Key, wasn't he?
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, everybody. As I say, if you tickets to the live show, 12th of Cheltenham, after the home game against November, Blue Monday, ITFC.co.uk. Thank you, David.
Cheers. Good stuff. Enjoyed that, mate.
Cheers all. See you soon.
Bye.